So welcome back class. In the previous video we have discussed about the electric field concept, and with the help of Coulomb's law and with the help of Gauss law we have find the electric field for the point charges, and with the help of Gauss law we can find the electric field due to the long straight conductor and the thin sheet and the thick sheet and then a spherical conductor. So already we are familiar with the electric field concept. Now let us discuss the capacitor chapter, because we are going to use some result of the electric field in this chapter. So we know that if we are bringing the test charge from infinity to a certain point, then this work done is called the form of energy, and which is called the electric potential of that point. So suppose we have a conductor, any kind of conductor, and if we are putting a charge on this conductor from anywhere, if we are bringing the charge in an electric field and putting on this conductor, so that work done is put in the form of potential. So that means if you are putting the charge on the conductor, you are increasing the potential of the conductor. That means Q is directly proportional to the V. If you are increasing the charge on this conductor, automatically the potential of this conductor will increase. So Q is directly proportional to the V. And whenever you are eliminating this proportionality sign, you have to use a constant. I am using this time the constant C. So Q is equal to C into V, where C is what? C is a constant proportionality constant, and commonly known as the capacitance of the conductor. Capacitance, commonly known as the capacitance. Capacitance of the conductor. That means that is indicate what is the capacity of this conductor. So from this formula, you can write the C is equal to Q divided by V. So in LK system, what is the unit of this Q? Which is the charge. So you will get the Coulomb, and for this potential you will get the volt. So it is Coulomb per volt. So it is commonly known as the Faraday. So 1 Faraday, 1 farad, right now, it is the name of the scientist, and there is the gratitude to that scientist, and we are getting the 1 unit for that. So 1 farad is equal to Coulomb divided by volt. Right? So you can also give the definition of the 1 farad. What is the 1 farad? 1 farad is equal to that amount of the charge that will rise the potential of the conductor by 1 volt. Right now, C is equal to Q by V. If V is equal to 1, then C is equal to Q. So from that expression you can derive the definition of the 1 farad. 1 farad is what? It is equal to that amount of the charge that will rise the potential of this conductor by 1 volt. So this is the definition of the 1 farad. Let us find the dimension of the farad. So just write the expression C is equal to Q by V, right now. So farad, 1 farad is equals to here the Coulomb divided by volt. Clear? Just write down the dimension of the RHS. So dimension of farad on capacitance is equals to, you will write the dimension of Coulomb divided by dimension of volt. Right now, just write down the dimensions. So dimension of the Coulomb. You know that the Coulomb is not the fundamental unit. So you can write the dimension of the Coulomb. You know that I is equal to Q by T. So Q is equal to I into T. I into T. So 1 Coulomb is equal to ampere into second. So you can just write the dimension of the Coulomb is A into T. For the ampere A and for the time you will write T. So that is AT. So this is the dimension of the Coulomb. Now just write down the dimension of the volt. So how you can find the dimension of the volt? You know that the basic definition of the electric potential V is equal to W by Q. Right now, the amount of work done in bringing the test charge from infinity to a certain point is called the, in an electric field is called the electric potential. From that we will get the V is equal to W by Q. And here the work done and here is the Q. So here the dimension of the volt, you just write the dimension of the work done divided by dimension of the Coulomb. So the dimension of the work done, you will write is L2 T to the power minus 2, right now, kilogram meter square upon second square, and divided by the Q. So again you divide by the AT, so divided by the AT. Okay. So in case of volt, you can write W upon Q, the dimension of the W, and divided by the dimension of the Q. So already in the numerator we have written the dimension of the Q, AT. So here, just simplify this one. So m in the denominator, that will go in the numerator, that become m to the power minus 1. Right now. Here L2, there is no L2, so that will go in the numerator, that become L to the power minus 2. Okay. And just see, AT become A square T square, right now. A square T square and already T minus 2 this side. So that will become T to the power 4. Here, active become T square, already in the denominator T by minus 2. That will move in the numerator, that become T to the power. Sorry. And this A square is clear. So the final dimension of the capacitance of the farad is m to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 2, T to the power 4, and E to the power 2. So this is the dimension of the capacitance on farad. Clear? So the next topic is, our next topic is the capacitance of a spherical conductor. So now we are going to be very precise. Suppose we have a conductor, a spherical conductor, solid spherical conductor of radius r, and our aim is to what is the capacity of this spherical conductor. So we have the basic formula C is equal to Q by V. So just assume I am putting the charge on this spherical conductor is Q. Right? And you know that that charge will be spread throughout the whole surface. And because of this charge Q, what will be the potential of this surface? So you know that the potential of a spherical conductor, and it is similar to the charge is assumed to be concentrated at the center. Right now, in the potential chapter already we have discussed. Whenever you are giving the charge on this conductor, spherical conductor, that will reside on the surface, and the potential of the surface is similar to the potential of the point charge which is placed at the center. Right? That means V of this surface is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by the radius r. Right? This person, suppose if you are placing a Q charge here at the center, so at r distance, what is the potential? So you will get the potential from a point charge which is placed at the center is this formula, and for the it is similar. You just find with the help of Gauss law you can find the electric field outside and inside at the surface, and with the help of that formula you can find the potential of this surface of this spherical conductor is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r. Right? So this is the potential because of the conduction of this Q charge on this conductor. Now if the formula C is equal to Q by V, so just put the value of V here. So just Q divided by here 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. After simplification, the Q and Q here cancel out. What you will get is C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into R. You see here, this is the formula for the capacitance of the spherical conductor, 4 pi epsilon naught r. So the capacity of the spherical conductor to hold the charge is directly proportional to the radius of the conductor. That means larger the radius, larger the capacity. Smaller the radius, smaller the capacity of this conductor. So here you can see that C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. Right? So this is the formula for the capacity of the spherical conductor. One point is noted down here. Suppose our aim is to find what is the radius of the spherical conductor if the capacity of that conductor is 1 farad. Right? So here the given parameter is our aim is to find a spherical conductor such that its capacity become 1 farad. So C is equal to 1 farad we are assuming. So just put the value of C here. C is equal to 1 farad is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into R. Our aim is to find what will be the radius of that conductor. So here R is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. And what is the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught? Is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. And because it is the radius, so the unit will be in the MKS system is meter. So just see here. If our aim is to build a spherical conductor of capacity 1 farad, we have to take the radius of that spherical conductor is 9 into 10 power 9 meter, which is not practically possible. 9 10 power 9 meter. What kind of radius we have to take? That is why it is called the farad is a very large unit. Generally, you will see the capacity expressed in the picofarad or the microfarad. Right? In the microfarad or the picofarad. These two are the common units. Because you can see here, if our aim is to build up a 1 farad capacity spherical conductor, so we have to take the radius of that spherical conductor is 9 into 10 to the power 9 meter, which is a very large value. That is why you can see that the farad is a very large unit. That is why generally in the practical phenomena, feasibility of the capacitors, you will see the capacitors are of the rating of microfarad or picofarad. 1 microfarad is equal to 10 to the minus 6 farad and 1 picofarad is 10 to the minus 12 farad. So these two are the common ratings of the capacitor. And that is why we are not using that kind of 1 farad. If your answer is coming with a farad, you should think that somewhere you have taken a miscalculation, because the farad is a very large unit. Okay? So I hope you understand the concept of the capacitor of the capacitance of a spherical conductor. If you have any doubt, you should mention in the comment section.